Welcome back to The Breakdown, a show about bodybuilding, fitness, and all things Generation Iron. Today, we have our guest, Paige Hathaway, former bikini competitor and social media mogul. Hi, Paige.
I like that introduction.
Mogul.
It's nice.
It's pretty cool. And of course, we have Shawn as per usual. And I am your host, Tifanny Urrea. Just diving right into the topics today. Paige, let's talk about how you became a quite successful female entrepreneur. How's that going for you?
It's going well. Sometimes I have to pinch myself and I'm like, is this my life?
I think well is an understatement.
It's going well.
Yeah.
Oh, you started out competing as a bikini girl first. That's where it all started?
Yes. Well, because I thought that that's the way to kind of get into fitness modeling. So I thought like, social media wasn't like really a thing back then. Like Instagram just started happening. It wasn't like you can't get like, you know, bukus of followers. That wasn't a thing on Instagram. So I thought like bikini competing was the way to kind of like make a name for yourself.
And why did you stop and how did you transition into just being a fitness personality?
Yeah, so I did 3 shows. And the first show, I did the Ronnie Coleman in Dallas, Texas. I placed second on my first show, so then I became like addicted to it. And then actually the second show and the third show, I did terrible.
No, because social media at the time wasn't a thing. Where do you make that jump from the stage to social media? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, so, you know, I just started posting on Instagram, you know, and I built like a 20K following pretty fast just by being one of the first girls to kind of like have muscles, be feminine, and post on social media. Like social media took like to it. So from there, it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of just escalated.
I think it's different for girls. I mean, like, for me to stop, like, and follow someone, there has to be something special. But what did you decide to post? What did you decide to post to get people to follow?
Well, 6 years ago, when I was starting to do this, like the butt phenomenon wasn't really like
it is now.
Yeah, it wasn't like it is now. But I just did motivational stuff. I would write motivational stuff under my photos of like maybe like what I was going through to try to connect to, you know, people that were following me with like real stuff.
Were the images like professional pictures or were there a lot of like candids, like selfies? Like how did you?
Yeah, well, when I first started, I'm from Oklahoma. So, I mean, it was definitely a lot of selfies.
Country.
Were you living there when you started? Okay.
Yeah.
It's not the bodybuilding, fitness, bikini capital of the world. That's
no, not at all. But it's crazy. It's. I mean, I'm sure it's like everywhere, but there's a lot of people that working out, competing now, and it's like a thing to do.
Like, did the social media become a business? I mean, at what point did you recognize that it can be a business?
It took quite some time. I was personal training at the time and I had like 20,000 followers. I think when I got up to not 100,000 yet, but that's when like companies like Shreds like saw me and, you know, all these other companies were like, who is this girl that has like a lot of followers for that time and contacting me. And that's when I kind of figured out like, wait a minute. These brands are contacting me because of my social media.
But they put you to work, right? You had to make appearances, you had to do photo shoots. Yeah.
It's so crazy. I will never forget this. So I had went to Olympia. It still gives me goosebumps to this day. I went to Olympia the year before Shreds. And I went because I wanted to be a fitness model and I wanted to like somehow make it, right? I wanted to like, you know, do more what I was doing. And I went to Olympia and I passed out like little cards with my email and my photo and stuff like that, and you know, it was just a surreal thing because there's so many people there. Like it's intimidating. I didn't know anyone, you know, whatever. Then the next year I went with Shreds and had like the biggest like banner there.
Yeah. So aligning yourself with a company it's actually a social media company helped your career get started.
100%.
How do you make the next step? Because then you took control and now you're doing pretty much like your own thing.
So that, I mean, I'm very fortunate to now have my own brand and to be able to be more picky, right? Because now I can say like, okay, well, I don't want to work with that brand or whatnot. But now it's aligning myself with companies that like I truly love and really want to work with and like have like a good relationship with.
Who are you working with now?
I'm really like my own like brand. I'm not working with a supplement company. I don't have like a clothing sponsor, I guess you could say. I'm really just doing my own thing, which is pretty cool.
Well, a lot of the
Good position
guys
to
want
be
to
in.
know, like when you get to the place that you're at, I'm sure your DM box is probably full of different types of messages, but guys that want to holler at you, they want to get with you. How do you choose? How do you choose which guy to interact with?
I don't really respond to the guys in the DMs.
So the guys don't even bother. I mean, are they professional or they get kind of raunchy in their?
I mean, it depends.
Yeah, it
like
depends.
if you can spot when it's like they're hitting on you, or if they approach you like professionally.
Which one do you get more of? Do you get more professional, like, hey, we love your work, or hey, show us your butt?
I get both, really, honestly. I get both. I get more professional. They try to like be sneaky about it.
Yes.
They're like, oh, I'm such a fan. And,
Do you get that from photographers too? Because there's a lot of predators out there. I mean, how do you know it's professional? You get on a plane. I remember Linda Sobick. She was a cheerleader for the Raiders and a model. And she went out on a photo shoot and got killed.
Oh.
In the hills, not too far from here. She was a Raider cheerleader.
Oh my gosh.
She was missing for a while because she didn't leave anybody a message. This was a reputable photographer. And she went up there, did a photo shoot. Nobody knew that she was on the photo shoot. And they found her car in El Segundo, Redondo Beach, at a Denny's. And that led them to the connection of this photographer named Rathburn. I forget what his first name was. But anyways, he ran her over with his car, did some things to her, and killed her. Do you have any of those kind of concerns?
Well, I usually don't work with random people. You know what I mean?
This guy was famous. He shot for like...
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
But what is weird to me is, why didn't she tell anybody?
That's
You
true.
said she was engaged?
Well, no, she was engaged to the owner of Max Muscle way back. She was actually dating Gary Stridham, the professional bodybuilder at the time, and he got questioned about
So she didn't tell
whereabouts.
her man where she was
When you're a model,
going?
you just kind of get comfortable. Look, I got a photo shoot. I'm going to go
that's
take some
true.
pictures.
I mean-
And you see the guy's work. She actually shot with this photographer before. So you can get lazy and comfortable with these people. And you're out in the hills, in San Bernardino Hills.
Oh my
and
gosh.
you don't
that's
come home.
crazy.
So I'm trying to figure out, like, where's your comfort level with someone that wants to put you to work? Do you ever worry about doing these photo shoots?
I mean, I usually travel with someone at all times.
Is it more of a concern to kind of like watch
Do you
your
need a
six?
bodyguard?
Yeah.
Do you have, like, can you protect me?
I could.
Have you had any weirdos? I mean,
No, I
okay.
have. I definitely have had weirdos, for sure. And I had one guy when I lived in Orange County that he had shot covers, and he had, he's been in the industry, and people knew who this guy was, and I don't know what had happened, but something made something click wrong. And then he started posting pictures of me and writing the oddest captions under them, and then he would make fake Facebook videos, and he would say stuff like, if anyone knows where Paige is, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna drug her, and I'm gonna rape her.
Yeah.
Saying all this like crazy stuff and putting it on Facebook, and people were calling me like, oh my god, you need to be really concerned, like don't put your location on, because he lived like miles from my house.
I would have took his ass to court. Did you?
No, but he was on, and then I heard he was on like a watch from the police, like it's a number, it's like a 9.
Did you call the police?
I did not.
Girl.
But then I was gonna go to an event for
I'd been like,
some magazine, and he showed
me.
up. I didn't go. I don't know what had happened, but I don't remember. I didn't go. And he showed up looking for me, and like, yeah. But he's in jail now.
Okay.
Not because of me, because of something else.
Oh no, I would have made sure it was because of me. Like,
Yeah.
no, you are not gonna make me
But I
feel
imagine, yeah.
uncomfortable. You crazy?
I guess the cautionary tale is that wherever you're going, you got to make sure that someone knows where you're at,
Yeah.
especially when it's photography.
Yes.
Which leads me to this question. I know a lot of girls, they want those professional photographs. They get on with a photographer, they take the pictures, they go back to the photographer looking for the photos, and the photographer wants to charge an arm and a leg.
Oh,
Literally like hold
yeah.
you hostage.
Right.
How do you avoid those types of situations?
Yeah, that's a really good question. But because photographers want to be posted on my page because it looks good for their brand and it helps them.
Yeah, people with no like following, or they're just starting, they have that issue. So when I first started out and Model Mayhem was like on it, Model Mayhem was on and popping, and there was a lot of like these bullshit photographers, and I didn't really know how to steer the conversation to talk about like, oh, TFP,
pictures.
testing photo shoots or whatever. So I did do a couple photo shoots where I'm like, okay, so the pictures, and they're like, oh, by the way, it's like, X amount for this, and I'm just like, I definitely don't have that.
What do you recommend then in a situation where you want to be with a professional photographer?
Yeah.
You just find out the rates, pay them the rates, but you want to own the pictures? Otherwise, they could wind up anywhere.
Yeah, right. I would say that, definitely.
What do you think about the industry as a whole? Because you're no longer competing.
Yeah.
Do you ever want to compete again?
I thought about it, you know. I actually did think about doing it again, stepping back on stage, just for my own like personal like I feel like I feel like competing, you have to be like passionate about it to do it. I mean, it's hard, you know what I mean? But a lot, you know, it is hard, but that was one of the best things I'd ever done is competed.
What are some of the challenges that you faced? Dating, being that you were kind of like in the spotlight, especially in the fitness world.
Everyone that I did, I was against dating people in the fitness industry, right? And then all of a sudden, they're like in the fitness industry.
Evolved into it.
Yeah, they evolved into it because I was in it.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
that's all right.
Your passion is the gym and eating clean. I can see that.
Yeah, so now they don't have their job that they had before, and now they own a fitness business.
Are you looking at those situations like, what were your intentions
Yeah,
from the beginning?
exactly.
Were you using me, you son of a
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
That happens.
You're like my conscience, like over here. Like I need you over here.
So-
I'm here to just say what you are.
So what do you
don't want to say? I'll
when
say
you go to
it.
a contest now, like you mentioned the Olympia? Is it what you thought it was going to be in terms of what the bikini girls look like?
So when I first started, it was more of like a softer look, and that's why I did poorly when I was competing, because I'm more like this is how I walk around, like more hard, right? So that's why I was doing really bad. But now it's kind of flipped, and now it's more hard.
Do you like it? Do you like the look?
I mean,
It's okay. I say no. Oh my gosh, she wants to say no. She does not like the bikini look that's being awarded.
What about the wellness look? Have you seen the wellness?
what's
the
wellness?
Thickums.
What is that?
You don't know the thickums?
It's coming out of South America, but it's going on a global basis.
Is the big booties. Okay, so it's
Delicious.
a lot more muscle
Curves.
down here. They're a little they're bottom heavy.
They're not ripped.
They're not
right.
ripped,
Oh.
so they're a little softer and they're more bottom heavy.
And it is a division.
And I mean,
that's there.
it's
Wow.
division.
So they're
Bikini, we're
creating
really
divisions for
focusing-
everyone to like. You have
right.
physique, you have the figure, you have the wellness, now you have bikini.
Oh wow, that's so crazy.
We're covering it all.
So, do you have any advice on people that are really trying to take social media serious and really get into it?
So my biggest piece of advice is you have to put in, you know, your time, even if you're not getting paid for something.
Yeah, people don't want to work for free.
People don't want to work for free,
You gotta build a foundation.
It's very iffy with that because there are a lot of companies out there that will just take that for granted.
Some of them
And
create the
abuse. They
opportunity
abuse.
for you, though.
But
of
some
them,
don't.
They'll fly you around, they'll put you up.
Yeah, but a lot don't.
Yeah,
And they'll
but you know what? You use them back, right? You use that situation to promote yourself. Like she handed out her own
100%.
cards with her emails.
You know, but even like when it comes to like networks or whatever it is, you know, hey, I'll do that because I want to get my name out there.
Yeah.
You know,
Let's talk about the bullying, the bashing.
you get those keyboard warriors. I used to get it a lot a while ago. just
You
because-
got dragged, girl.
Yeah,
Is
I
there
used
like
to get it a lot.
situation? Is it a situational thing, or is it based on a
Like,
photograph?
I mean,
or-
even like, I don't know if you guys know, like the boxing photo where I'm like this and it's like pretty shredded. I got
I'll look for
so much hate on that
Because you were
photo.
shredded.
Yeah, because they were like,
Well,
why would you
it was
ever do that to
altered.
yourself,
Get
man?
ripped.
Yeah, get ripped. That's not feminine.
How do you deal with it? Do you engage those people?
I
Could you
have
do, like,
blocked a lot of people.
you
I
block
do.
a lot?
Yeah.
Like, how many people? Like in a week, how many people are you blocking?
It must
Sometimes
have
I'll
been.
block people. Like if you leave something like, you know, really, really, really negative, I'll block you.
You have your limits on why you block them, and then they're gonna.
Right. Because I'm like, if they're gonna leave that bad of a comment, like they're not
Is
gonna.
there any coming back after you block them? Like, can they reach you and go, please?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I have
They were-
done that.
Have you?
I've unblocked them.
I've never done that. Have you done that?
No,
When I
bye,
block them, see the door.
See ya. Is it better for women to compete or work on their social media profiles?
Well, I think it depends. I mean, obviously, like if you're passionate about competing, and it depends on what you want to do.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of people that are super successful in competing. That I mean, if they do personal training or something like that, it helps their brand to be IFBB Pro. So it depends on like what you're wanting to overall do.
Right.
But then there's a lot of people that are IFBB Pro that no one knows who they are.
True.
So it's kind of like a catch-22. But with competing and being IFBB Pro, there are sponsorships and there is paid endorsements and there is.
But I find that a lot of people that didn't have success competing will go towards social media because they have a negativity towards competing.
But it's hard to grow social media nowadays too. So it's like.
It's not.
Are we
easy.
seeing that more often? Like the competitors just giving up,
I
not
think
giving
so.
up, retiring, and then
Well, that's what I said about some of the
because so then that
Insta-famous-
shows that there's more opportunity in the social
There's
media
not only
side.
more opportunity, but they can kind of control their own destiny because
Yeah.
they have a
So-
voice. On stage, you don't really have a voice,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
You're just a body. But I think that it's
Yeah.
important to take control of your brand because that's what's going to stick with you when you're not competing.
Next topic: is it fair that celebs get way more views than actual pro competitors?
With social media, I feel like it's about branding and like having like a business sense, right?
You don't automatically become a celebrity just because you win a pro card or win a pro
Yeah,
bodybuilding show.
right.
But if you are a social media person, I think people have an identification with who you really are rather than just what you've accomplished and what
That's
you
a
look
really
like.
good point. Yeah,
You know, they
I
attach
agree.
themselves to the personality, the emotion, the inspiration, and they follow you to wherever you're at in the world.
Right.
You win the Mr. Olympia, if you're not like have a personality, they're not going to get on a plane and be moved to follow you to England because you have an
Right.
appearance.
So, last debate, Kim Kardashian is always a topic of criticism. Recently, she was called out for cultural appropriation for posting a pic of her in braids, aka cornrows, but
bad.
some say she does it for controversy that drives views. Is controversy good in this line of business? And what is your relationship with controversy? Do you embrace it? Like, do you try to avoid it?
What is that? What is that saying? Like
She did it, okay, because the Kardashians have done things from the black culture, and then they've gotten a lot of backlash from it. So they're still doing it. So are they like being strategic about it?
my outlook on it is because I'm in like the more inspirational fitness space. I
You
feel
wanna
like,
avoid it.
Yeah, because it's not good media for me. But there are a lot of people that have these personalities on social media, fitness industry or whatnot, that are kooky and crazy and do things for views and for likes and all that stuff.
Well, yeah.
So safe to say
I
you
did
avoid
not.
it.
Yeah.
You avoid it.
It's
Okay.
just a difference.
Yeah. Have you? I know you said you avoid it, but have you stumbled onto situations where it just happened? Like,
I mean, like that photo, the shreds thing was controversy in the fitness industry. I think that was one of the biggest things.
Is it bad for you?
Well, I
Digested?
mean, in that incident, it was like you are who you surround yourself with, and because I was surrounded with shreds, I became into the mess
Yeah.
of everything.
what
So-
about the whole Photoshop thing?
yeah.
I saw that whole thing implode.
Yeah, but yeah, that was huge controversy over.
But it goes back to any
But-
publicity is not bad. Bad.
Did it hurt you or did it help you? Because now all of a sudden, a lot more people that didn't know who Paige Hathaway was, they're like,
Finding
who
out.
is this girl that's getting
I think it was
dragged on
kind
social
of
media?
Like both. Sometimes, very rarely, I'll see something about that still.
Yeah.
Still talking about you.
Still talking about it. But then it's like, well, if you're talking about it, you know what I
That's
mean?
good.
Then
Yeah.
it's good.
And
But
you
is
survived,
it?
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, what?
So when you go back to that controversy and compare how many followers you had then compared to now, you clearly survived,
Yes.
right? I mean, and there's peaks and valleys. In social media, you're opening yourself up. You're
Yeah.
an open book, right? Pretty much.
100%. But I've learned with everything, with social media, with having 4 million followers on Instagram, you're gonna get people that don't like you, don't approve.
So we're trying out a new segment where we are responding back to some comments. So, Ignacio Rodriguez. Hey, boo. Steroids make you an asshole. Fact. This was on GenerationIron.com.
Is that a
Response.
question for me or for you?
It's not even a question. It's not a question.
Oh,
he
well,
wow.
stated
Yeah.
steroids make you an asshole.
Well, he must know by using them, and maybe that's why he thinks that's the case for everyone. But I can tell you, having personal experience, if you're an asshole and you take steroids, you're just going to be a bigger asshole taking steroids. It's like alcohol. It affects different people differently. She can drink 3 beers, pass out on the floor, and throw up. You can drink 3 beers and be aggressive and want to fight everybody. I can drink 3 beers and be the life of the party. It's a drug. It's going to affect your mood. It's going to affect, and it's going to reveal who you are. So if you're a jerk having a bad day, you'll be a bigger jerk having a worse day.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to tune in next week for the breakdown on GenerationIron.com.